Today, teacher must be worried about how to transform qualification into meaningful, utility-oriented, practical, impactful competencies. What we require is locally relevant and globally applicable competencies. Ultimately, today, performance quotient is defined by three important elements: IQ multiplied by EQ multiplied by SQ. And I will add one more Q, that is AQ. IQ is nothing but intelligence quotient. By asking the question, who are your parents? It will determine only 25%. Another 50% is determined by what you call emotional intelligence quotient of Daniel Goleman. By asking three questions. Do you have the ability to understand your own feelings? Yes or no? Do you have the ability to understand the feelings of the relevant others, not Tom, Dick and Harry? The third question is, do you have the ability to respond to the relevant feelings of the relevant others timely and appropriately? If the answer is in affirmative for all the three questions, we say you are reasonably blessed with what you call emotional intelligence quotient. Weightage is 50%. Remaining 25% is divided between two things. One is SQ, that is spiritual quotient. The other one is AQ, adversity quotient. Spirituality, according to Swami Vivekananda, is nothing but the science of human excellence. So it means you must be able to exhibit your inner capacity, which is normally hidden. For example, common sense is highly uncommon in India. Common sense is very important today. So inner strength must be exhibited to make things happen in the outer world, so that we can communicate the process of making things happen to the learners. AQ is nothing but adversity quotient. Particularly during trying circumstances, difficult time, let us say during COVID-19 situation, we say do not panic. Do whatever is expected of you, but you don't know what are your expectations. Whenever you are asked to do certain things, you develop cold feet. So it means under strange circumstances, under difficult circumstances, under adverse circumstances, how well you can perform, how you can keep yourself cool all the time, so that you will be able to concentrate, you can keep your body, mind and little soul in one place, you can make things happen. So IQ multiplied by EQ multiplied by SQ multiplied by AQ is nothing but PQ, that is performance quotient. Here exactly a teacher will have to play a very critical and decisive role, because ultimately we are creating a generation capable of transforming the entire nation. We have to create what we call a better human atmosphere. We have to build new human beings. There should be cordiality, there should be humane approach, and we must understand the problems and difficulties of the mankind. Normally we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This kind of understanding the big picture is very, very important. How to facilitate the entire process. Teacher is basically a facilitator. So it means ultimately we must be able to promote total well-being. That is physical, mental, intellectual and spiritual well-being. So that is possible only when we are in a position to connect the plug. Ultimately, teacher can do that. Teacher is a role model. Teacher is a pathfinder. Teacher is a friend. Teacher is a philosopher. Teacher is a guide. Today, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan's birthday. We know he was the first Vice President of India, former President of India, a powerful, impactful teacher, a great scholar, a great philosopher. Much more than that, a great transformer, a great statesperson. Bharat Ratna, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He opined, instead of celebrating my birthday, I feel better if it is celebrated as Teachers' Day. So it means we must be able to get inspiration from all these mighty giants, because teacher is always a stimulator, is a professional. It means there are 7 important roles to be played by a teacher. Teacher is a role model. I told you already, there is no retirement for a teacher. Teacher is a public person. A teacher doesn't have a private life because he is a role model. If he or she does a small mistake, it will be viewed very seriously because teacher. It's unbecoming of a teacher. So that means in the hearts and minds of the teacher, a teacher is a demigod. It is true. So he should be a role model so that you can inspire the hearts and minds of the learners. Then he is a pathfinder, because when a learner or a student is in difficult times, teacher shows the right way, teacher goes the way, teacher performs the way, and teacher instills in him or her a great sense of confidence, and the student will be charged and recharged so that the path is visible to him or her. So pathfinder and friend. Normally, I was a teacher for the last 4 decades. I was very strict inside the classroom, but outside the classroom, I am a very friendly, jovial, happy-go-lucky person. So that the learners can exchange the thought process freely with me. That is very, very important. Because normally I say, only when you ask question to me, you can find real teacher in me. All students cannot feel like asking questions to the teachers. They got their own mental blocks. Something will be always holding them back. So we have to create, build, sustain, nurture that kind of questioning atmosphere in the classroom, so that students will be motivated to ask questions. So there should be a friendly atmosphere. Teacher should be a true friend. Then philosopher. We philosophize so many things, because problem should not be viewed problem. It should be approached from the point of view of solution providing framework. So it means, that's what I say, never try to become part of the problem. You must always try to become part of the solution, so that solution will be there, whether it is 100% solution or partial solution or no solution. If there is no solution, it is not at all a problem. It should be redefined as condition of our life, and we must know how to live with it. Then ultimately, I want to give you a message in the end, that is, the word teacher is made up of 7 letters of English alphabet. I am giving a capsule so that you can relish this kind of memory in the form of a capsule. T-E-A-C-H-E-R, 7 letters of English alphabet, should be viewed as 7 O's of a teacher. Saptapadi, 7 steps. T signifies what? T is nothing but trust and team learning. Teacher should never promote individual learning. It is not the individual excellence that matters today. Collective thinking, collective contributions, collective well-being, collective synergy, collective contribution. So it means that is possible only when we create a trusting environment, a win-win transaction, win-win interaction, win-win agreements, win-win contributions. And it's a team learning, collective learning. So T stands for trust and team learning. E is nothing but egolessness. Because you must feel that, you do not know many things so that you can learn. If you think that, you are full, your cup is full, I cannot pour fresh tea. So it means unless you create a learning space in you, by unlearning what you have longly learnt all these days, you cannot create a learning space. Only when there is a learning space, you can accommodate new inputs, new learning experiences, so that new learning will take place. And ultimately, you will be wedded to the philosophy of continuous learning, improvement and development. That is called CLID, C-L-I-D, continuous learning, improvement and development. That is possible only when you are selfless, honest, and you enjoy high level of integrity, you are ethical beyond doubt, and you trust yourself, and you trust your ability, and you have got a purpose. It means to bring meaningful and impactful differences in the lives of others. Only when under that circumstances you experience what you call egolessness. You'll become humble and you experience humility of the highest order. That is very important quality of a teacher, egolessness. Then A, that is nothing but accommodative, adaptive and agile. Accommodative spirit is nothing but a teacher will always go out of the way to transform the hearts and minds of the learners. Because best teacher will always get best students. And I say you must get better than best students. So it means an ideal teacher is always in a position to obtain extraordinary performance from an ordinary student. That should be the virtue of a teacher. That is possible only when a teacher demonstrates what you call accommodative mindset. Going out of the way. It means going the extra mile to unleash and unlock the potential within every learner. Adaptive, because if a teacher thinks that I have got notes prepared 20 years back, I got 20 years experience, that is only 1 year experience is 20 years old. It must be 1 into 2 into 3 into like that. So every year you must acquire something new and you must discard the old things, because time is changing and when you are not in a position to change others, at least you can change yourselves. It means your note should be changed. It means you should be adaptive person. Then you should be agile, just like rising from the ashes, phoenix bird, You experience several difficulties. A teacher today will have to operate under several odds against him or her. But still you have to perform because show must go on. That is possible only when you persevere. Teacher must be endowed with high level of endurance and tolerance, patience. It means you must be able to postpone gratification. So that is called agility or agile personality. That is what A. Then C is very important. Teacher is a character builder. It is not enough if you give first rank to a student and if a student earns very impressive cumulative grade point average. The spinal cord of a student is nothing but integrity, being ethical beyond doubt, communal harmony today, living together, a kind of sense of togetherness, humane approach. These things are very important. So teacher's role is here character builder, C. Then comes H. Two things are important here, honest and hope. A real teacher is always honest, because honesty is the best policy for a teacher. You have to be true to yourself. If you do not know the answer inside the class, confess it, nothing wrong. Tell the student, I'll get back to you tomorrow, and you will burn the midnight oil to find the right answer or appropriate answer for that question, and go back to the student next day and give the answer. So the point is, here you are not only honest to yourself, you are also honest in the classroom, honest to the learner, and honesty is the best policy because it becomes contagious among the learners. So that is what honest. Then hope, because teacher will always think that he's a slow learner. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or in the days to come, he will become an average learner, then he will become an advanced learner. Hope of becoming better is always the magic mantra of a teacher. That is what H. Then comes E. The word E is highly loaded. I already told earlier. That is envision. Vision of a student must be envisioned by the teacher by creating that kind of atmosphere. It is not pushing down the throat of a learner. We have to discover our own vision, but proper atmosphere, proper prompting is required by the teacher. So envision. Then empower. Power is inside you. You must be able to discover your inner self. You as a learner engage in the process called soul searching, Atma Shodhane in Kannada. So discover your inner self. You will get enough power. You are already powerful. The only thing is you have to use your power for the right purpose. Power is there only to help people, never try to harm anyone. So that empower, then enable yourself to do your best, at the same time enable others to do their best. Never come in the way of others' excellence. So therefore, enable, then enthuse. Because enthusiasm is very, very important. We should never become bankrupt as far as the stock of enthusiasm is concerned. It's kind of upward spiral. It's kind of ripple effect, so that enthusiasm can be spread just like a contagious disease. So enthuse, then educate. Education is beyond literacy. To know more and more about the less and less of everything that matters to us. A kind of inner discovery. A kind of higher order thinking. So that is what education. Then engage. Whatever we do, there should be total involvement. We have to immerse ourselves into the process so that we will chew it to the fullest possible extent before we chew it out. So that is what engage. Then enlighten. Look beyond the obvious, look beyond the boundaries, look beyond the horizon. So it means get enlightenment by asking question, what is next? So you are not happy with whatever you have now. What is next? What is the next level which will challenge me, challenge my capabilities? Then next E is nothing but excellence. Perfection is not important for a teacher. 70% perfection is enough. Never fail to act. So excellence is nothing but putting your best foot forward. As Aristotle rightly said, excellence is not an act but a habit. Therefore, here E is highly loaded. Envision, empower, enable, enthuse, educate, engage, enlighten, and excel. Then the last letter in the entire teacher word is nothing but R, that is role model. Because teacher should not be good, he or she should also appear to be good. That is what we understand, because ultimately why I am telling all these things is, okay, if you produce a bad engineer, of course a few buildings may collapse. Let us say if we produce a bad doctor, a few patients may die. But if you produce a bad teacher, he or she will destroy one whole generation. Therefore, there are no three classes of teachers: good, bad, ugly. Teacher must be always good. Teacher should not be by default, ideally speaking. Teacher should be by design, because a teacher is always a lifelong learner, and he or she is always passionate about his or her profession, subjects of teaching, and the learners or the students. Once again, I wish every one of you the happy Teachers' Day. Thank you very much for your time and opportunity.